I just found out that this is a remake of my second part of How I Found Destiny. I just made another one 10 minutes ago, but because there's something wrong with the settings, so it didn't record the audio, so everything I have to remake again, really sharing what it is in this moment. First of all, thanks for everyone's comments. I really appreciate it. And I'm still a bit scared, worried about if I will have nothing to say, will have dead air, because I don't want to waste everyone's time and just staring and looking at me without missing anything. But it seems I'm getting better. Yeah, it seems really I'm getting better. Okay, so I was talking about, I watched Hitler's video. At that moment I didn't know that it was Hitler himself come through Senate, the board, to talk about his past life, because I have never heard Hitler say anything in English. I didn't know what he has done. In the interview, Hitler talked about he saw demons and things like that. A lot of things that I don't understand. He said about energy, emotions, mainly about human being possessed. So I didn't finish watching the whole Hitler series. But when I get to Jack's History of Mankind series, I found that that's very interesting, very strange, because nobody has ever talked anything like this before. Nobody has ever told stories, not even Arthur C. Clarke or those like Lord of the Rings, those famous fiction story writers. It's totally not like that. It's totally different. It's totally something else. That's what I found. But I found that it's worth. I wasn't. I wouldn't say that I was convinced at that moment, but I found that it was very familiar. It's like a feeling of home. I don't know why I had that feeling. So I keep on watching History of Mankind for maybe 5 to 10 episodes, and then I go to Destiny website, and I found they have much more information, much more interviews over there. So I keep watching every day, spending like hours. At first it was 6 hours per day, and then later on, because I was unemployed, so I really have the time to do it. Later on I spent like 8 hours per day. I wasn't reading the articles back then. I was still just watching the videos, just like everyone else. I mean, I found them reading words is very difficult, not interesting. That's what I was. And it really shocked me when I found out, when I watched a video interview about a girl and a boy. They have a series of, after they have a child research, that they would invite a boy to come to make a speech for a couple of minutes first, and then later on a girl. And the whole thing, they record the whole thing, the whole process. You can see how they changed the tone, how they changed the gesture. It really shocked me, because I told myself that there's nobody on earth. First of all, there's no one on earth can pretend, can act to become a child to that extent, because Jeanette very obviously was a teenager girl, a boy or something like that. And to act as a child to that extent is impossible. It's really impossible. not to mention that you change sex. You change from a boy to a girl in the middle of an interview, and that's totally shocked me. And I found that at that moment, I found that that's quite a proof of this portal is really something, that maybe this girl really have the ability to talk or channel, not channel, but to communicate to the after death, because it's not like, it's totally even beyond channeling. I mean, you cannot ask someone to channel and make and pretend to act like a child. I mean, that's common sense. How come channeling? There's nobody, no children has ever come through the channeling. How come there's no changing sex in the middle of the interview for channeling? That really makes me beginning to ask questions about what I learned, what I heard about, for example, like channeling or palm reading before. And Desteni, I mean, I want to say that Desteni really gives you everything. They have everything. They tell you about the government conspiracy. They tell you about UFO physics, psychology, system, society, history, universe. They tell you everything. Animal kingdoms, a lot. They tell you really a lot. I found that it's like a treasury. It's like a library full of treasures. And I found that the half year that I spent over 8 hours a day to just watching videos and reading the articles, really is my most happiest time in spending my whole 38 years. Of course, later on I decided to participate, and lately I found out that I need to really apply the self-forgiveness, to write more self-forgiveness, using the muscle communication, to use more muscle communication to practice it. I cannot use the excuse of just assisting others and just don't do my part about the self-forgiveness, because what Bernard said is the only thing that you need to do is really self-forgiveness, to clear yourself and become self-honesty. Okay, thank you very much. That's what I would like to share at this moment.